Hello and welcome to this new podcast. I am still Ben Lister, still chatting with guests, but not broadcasting on the radio, but on Spotify this time. And this is the chatbox podcast. I get more freedom, more fun, no real restrictions, and lots of big guests coming your way very soon. But let's hit the ground running, shall we? Last week we had poet Richard Harries from Wivensey, the poet, but today's guest is a legend of the nightclub scene, a friend to the stars, husband of the legendary DJ Priya and Yasmin Kerr, and it's the one, the only, Andy Yoya. Hello, Andy. Welcome along.
Hi, Ben. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. I've been keeping an eye on your work, and I see that you've interviewed a good selection of people from the media and radio, and well done. It seems to be going really well.
Yep, I'm ready to rumble in the jungle. Are you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can't see you, but I can hear you. So I can only imagine that you're somewhere glamorous.
Yeah, it's 5 questions today about your clubbing and promotional career, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Fire away.
Question 1. Where did you start your nightclub career?
Right. So it was at the Welly Club on a Tuesday evening, and I went to the Welly with a friend, I think about 94, and DJ Priya was playing, and everything she played was just like, oh my God, this is brilliant. I hadn't been to a club night that was playing all the stuff that I really liked, like indie stuff. And so we got chatting from that point, realized that we'd got the same record collections. I'd been DJing previous to that, but not in clubs. And eventually it came together that not only were we together as a couple, but we joined together DJing and running club nights. So that's how it started.
Wow, and that's the lovely DJ Priya, of course.
That's right. I think I'll have a chat with her and hopefully get her to come on your podcast if you'd like that.
Yeah, she's a legend. I see her posters sometimes over the city centre when I'm walking around. Your posters as well.
Yeah. That's yeah. We tend to get everywhere. Obviously, we're not sort of DJing in clubs at the minute, but we'll come to that in a bit.
Yeah, if ever you need a nightclub host or something, just ask me. I don't mind bobbing along and
we can look you up. You're available for hire.
Yeah, you just need to pay me, that's all.
Okay, I'll remember that.
I'll just come and introduce the acts and do interviews with the acts afterwards and that.
There you go, and you can put them on your podcast.
Yep, I've been tagged.
Fire away.
Question 2. What's your favourite part about the nightclub?
I think, the reason we started our club night is, believe it or not, no one was playing. The nightclub always played sort of dance music. No one was playing sort of indie guitar stuff at that point. And it's nice to be able to play out the music we like. It's nice to see people enjoying it, people of a similar taste and all the rest of it. It's just nice that when people work hard all week, they can come out on a weekend and have a good time. That's really good. And then the other aspect, through our nightclubs, we put on a lot of live music as well, a lot of live bands over the years. So getting to put on big national acts and then putting on local supports as well to help out with the local music scene, that's been a good aspect to it as well. And as our nightclub's sort of grown over the years, going into different cities, being able to DJ in different cities and have different people come and enjoy it as well, that's been pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's very good. And some of my friends go along to the is it Piper, I believe it's called, on Newland Avenue?
Yeah, well, we do pre-COVID for I think about 15 years with a couple of interruptions. We've done Loaded, which is our Friday from the Piper Club, which is Priya DJing and myself. I basically do all the promotion for it as well. So that's on Fridays. And then our other club night Yo-Yo ran for many Saturdays at Welly, and also ran in Lincoln for about 10 years. And it ran in York as well at Fibbers. So hopefully we can get back to doing our club nights again after the pandemic fades away.
You'll have to see what the Prime Ministerial announcement says on Monday.
Yeah, I see. Boris is doing his thing, is he, on Monday? So he'll give us some information. But fingers crossed, we can see a bit of glint of light in the future, and we can hopefully know when we can start having groups and crowds of people back together at gigs and club nights and stuff.
We're not going to talk about my trust and faith in the government and the media, of some media people of this country. That's up for another story for another time.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of mistakes, hasn't there? And yeah, a conversation for another time.
Yeah, conversation for behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Question 3. What's your greatest achievement in the nightclub scene?
I suppose when we first started out, we were quite different to all the other nights in nightclubs. That was all R&B or house music or dance music. So it was good that when all the big promoters accepted us as our music and us as DJs, that was good. Being the first whole club night to move and run successfully in other cities on a permanent basis, like in Lincoln, we were there for 10 years. That was quite a good moment. And then going to York, getting in the NME was quite, there's quite a few here. I actually can't really figure out one. Getting on MTV with Saying Low with our club night was quite cool. Having our own show on the BBC, Yo-Yo Indie Show with James Hogarth, that was pretty cool. There's quite a few. A lot of the massive bands we've had come and play at our club night has been pretty cool. So there's quite a few highlights. It's been pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, and do you miss doing your BBC show?
Yeah, it's interesting how we got into the media, because to get into broadcasting and all the rest of it, you have to take the university route or the hospital radio route, or the way we got into it was our club night got to be really well known. So then we got to know media people that way. And then eventually we were doing a show with James Hogarth, which was the Yo-Yo Indie Show. And that was great. Really enjoyed doing that with James, who's a great friend and a great broadcaster. I think you're a fan of James's, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a big fan, and he's become a good friend of mine as well over the Facebook, and meeting him a few times in the town and BBC and stuff. Yeah,
he's a nice chap. And it was, so just going into the BBC, and so the sports talk show was on just before us. So Gwilym Lloyd had come in and tell loads of stories, and then Burnsy was there, and we're really good friends now. And the whole crew at the BBC, Lizzie Rose, who's gone on to present, she was the girl doing answering the door and producing and stuff at that time. So it was a great experience. Dean Windass was doing his Radio 5 show when we were doing our show at the same time. He was in the next studio, and we just got to meet a lot of great people, and I've had some good friendships grow, from doing that.
Yeah, and also I know someone who did appear on James Hogarth show back in the past. He was a media guru who I have had on a previous podcast, called John Gilbert.
John Gilbert, okay. I've heard the name, but our paths haven't really crossed. So.
Fair.
Did,
Fair
did he
enough.
say that James was a good presenter and kind to him? And
Yeah, they said
yeah.
James he used to appear on James's evening show
All right. Okay.
because
Yeah,
he used to have an evening show on an evening before he became, I believe, a producer.
he did. Yeah, his evening show ran for quite some time. It was a good show. And I think he's currently on Humberside at the moment covering for Andy Comfort.
Well, he's not now. We finished about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, did he? Oh, right. Okay. But anyway, yeah, James is a nice guy, and it was great to work with him on our show and stuff. And so we choose the music basically, and he'd co-present with us and help put it all together. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, there's a lot of great musicians in the Hull music scene, like your young lady.
Yeah, Yasmin. Yes. So for the people that don't know, our daughter's Yasmin Coe is a singer-songwriter, and there's a lot of great bands and artists in Hull. There's a festival, online festival, which is coming up at the Adelphi on the 20th of March, and that's Shado Oraka, Life, Yasmin Coe, and I think about another 4 or 5 bands from the city. So that's on 20th of March. So if people look at the Adelphi website or social media, they can find information about that.
Yeah, she was on Look North last year about the Sitting Down at Home concert or something.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, Anne-Marie Tasker, who was the culture presenter at that time. So yeah, it was a back to ours. It was just as lockdown started, and Yasmin did I think it was quite soon into lockdown, and so she got offered this opportunity to play at home, and it got, I think, a lot. There was about 2,500 people watching at one point, which was quite incredible. So yeah, that was good. Not as good as a proper, a real life gig, but at the minute we need to sort of, take what we can.
Yeah,
and then look forward to.
Like I say, when I saw her at Brandon, wow, she was I said to some of the people in the crowd, she is the future of some music.
Oh yeah, she I think she played for a different radio station. They invited her to play at the light switch on, and she turned the lights on and all that. And she thinks she played an acoustic gig. But that's nice of you to say. And I'm biased, but I do agree with you. And she's played a couple of times at Brandsome. She supported Shed 7 when they played there. That was a back to hours event run by Under the Influence. That was a good night.
Nice.
Yeah, all good.
Question 4. You're probably going to answer this question straight away. How has COVID affected your line of work?
Well, it kind of stopped immediately with our sort of club nights and stuff. It stopped, there and then. So it's been difficult. We've been DJing and running club nights since 95 onwards. So it's been a difficult thing to deal with. Hopefully we've gone over the main part of it, where we can start looking forward to getting things going. But yeah, it's affected it massively. And the support was quite slow coming from government. A lot of clubs and live music venues and theatres and stuff are still really struggling, and I don't think the government have really grasped the nettle and realised how important places, of entertainment and culture are. So hopefully they can survive in a good number to carry on after COVID.
I heard a story about Polar Bear at the start of this lockdown. And you put a little comment in because I think you used to do a few gigs at Polar Bear. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Polar Bear. So I know all the guys down there. A lot of them were interlinked with Welly, where we do club nights, and I know Mac really well, who does the session night there, and Dan Mower that does all the booking, and Mark, who's the general manager there. So from what I can gather, the Polar Bear is now a community venue. So people put in through crowdfunding, I believe, about 15,000 to buy the equipment and in the venue, and more has been raised on top of that. So hopefully, at the back end of COVID, it can reopen, but it will be a community venue, so it won't be privately owned. It will be owned by people that put in money. So it should have a bright future. So I would say keep an eye on their social media and see what comes out of that.
And also, I forgot to mention one of my favorite DJs as well is Timmy Yeomans.
Tim Yeomans, yeah. He's been DJing in Hull for a long time. We've never done an event together because it's he does different style of music, but he's a well-respected DJ in the city, and hopefully again for him, when things open up, he can get out doing gigs after this pandemic.
Is he a friend of yours?
No. We've one of the DJs I've not really, because he does a different genre. It's not like we've been at the same event doing stuff, but I know of his stuff, and no, he's a respected DJ in the city, but no, we're not friends now.
Yeah, because some of the people who I know have been having trouble recently. They've had to go onto their own private websites because of how they call it, Facebook police, because of the music.
Oh yeah. Well, we've basically, me and Priya said that we're not going to do any DJing until clubs are open, and obviously other DJs have done live streams and all the rest of it, and a lot of DJs have come into difficulty with Facebook, and Facebook have done deals with labels and stuff like that, record labels. So as soon as if a song's played, then there's like a breach of copyright, and Facebook will just kill the sound straight away. So live streams on Facebook have become quite difficult for DJs, which is a shame, really, because I think in these difficult times, Facebook should realise that they should be there to support kind of not really disadvantaged DJs that are just trying to keep going. So yeah, that's been a shame. So I think DJs who are doing live streams have gone to other platforms, haven't they, so they continue.
Yeah, I know a couple that have done that option.
Yeah, it's a shame that Facebook are doing that.
That's just the way of the world at the moment.
Yeah. Facebook seem to have quite a lot of power, don't they?
Yeah.
Maybe too much.
Last question of the interview. Sorry, it's near the end, but
that's okay. No, I've enjoyed your company.
Question 5. What advice would you give to music promoters and nightclub burners starting out?
Right. Ooh. I would say it's tougher coming into the industry now at any level, whether it's a band or whether it's a DJ or a promoter. Times are a lot tougher now because the market everywhere is shrinking. It's getting more difficult. But my advice would be, say, to a DJ or promoter was the question.
Yeah.
Do your own thing. Get out there, prove yourself. Take a night where, say, nothing's going on. Say, do a Wednesday at the Adelphi, and prove that you can get people in and you've got something to offer, something different. Then you can then take that and then go after time to a venue and say, look, I've got something going on here, something that's different. I've got a little edge going on. I've got a group of people that are into it, and I've got something to offer. So that would be my advice, rather than just copying a trend or another DJ. Try and come up with something a bit individual, something that's a bit unique to what you're doing.
Yeah, you've you've hit the nail on the head, as they say.
All right, okay, well that's good. Nice of you to say.
And you,
so can I ask who's your next guest then?
I think it may be one of my mother's friends talking about her cancer story.
Okay, so you're not necessarily just, so it's local people, but not necessarily media people. It's people with local stories.
Media people who are in contracts just for my own website because I can't broadcast them on radio for contractual reasons.
Yeah. Okay.
But I could get some of the BBC people because they have different contracts to commercial radio stations, how you say.
Yeah. Well, there's some good people to get there.
I'm trying to get Dr. Fox for
Oh,
this
right, okay.
series. Neil Fox from Pop
He's
Idol.
been DJing for a long time, hasn't he?
Yeah, I've already had Hairsty on my previous series. She's very funny.
Oh, she is. Yeah. We worked together. Well, where are we? I'm not going to show our age, but we did a Thursday night in Hull for a couple of years, and then more recently we've done stuff as well. I've got some gigs up in Hull, and she's a lovely lass, as I say.
When I first interviewed her about 3 weeks ago, I got quite nervous because up until a few weeks ago, I didn't know that she,
Oh, right, okay. So you knew like from way back.
The Capital days. That's the last time I heard of her, and then she popped back up on one of Darren Leafen's things, and I was like, oh yeah. And then I did a bit of research behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I said to her that I respect her journey.
Yeah, massively. Yeah. No, she's great. Great broadcaster. Good DJ as well. Good DJ. Yeah. She does her kitchen sessions, I think it is.
Kitchen belters.
Kitchen belters. There you go. Yeah, you've corrected me. Yeah, I nearly got it.
Now I'm not going to say what someone else says it, like that Alex Belfield, the radio presenter, says it.
Oh, right, okay. We'll leave that one there.
He's quite a controversial figure.
All right. Well, I've never heard of him, so he can't be that controversial. So
yeah. Anyway,
cool.
That's it.
I've enjoyed chatting with you.
Sorry, I'll just do my outro. That's it from me here on the Chatterbox podcast. Thank you for joining me today, Andy.
No worries.
Join me again soon on the Chatterbox podcast when we'll have my friend Paula Cayley chatting about her cancer journey. But for now, please give it up for the legendary Andy Yo-Yo. Thank you very much for listening. And that's a wrap.